Good evening and welcome to our pre-recorded webinar on how to find and get a small business grant. It's being brought to you by the Buffalo Niagara chapter of SCORE. I'm SCORE Workshops co-coordinator Ted Delonowitz, and I'm pleased to serve as your host for yet another SCORE webinar. I'd like to first apologize for the delay and confusion in getting you the sign-in information for tonight's webinar. Thanks for your patience and understanding in having to deal with Zoom and whatever other automated issues you have to deal with. Before going into the presentation, I'd like to let you know that this pre-recorded webinar is part of SCORE's commitment to promote the success of small business. And we do this through locally and nationally available training events, one-on-one mentoring, and by providing online informational resources. SCORE is the volunteer arm of the Small Business Administration, and it has hundreds of chapters and thousands of unpaid volunteers throughout the United States. Our Buffalo chapter, it has about 50 members, most of whom do mentoring, and many of our educational events are free. As a matter of fact, most of them are free. Contact us at buffaloniagara.score.org and at our national website, score.org. You can view at those sites the national and local workshops, and you can explore numerous business-related resources. And by the way, here are the upcoming webinars that are now listed on our buffaloniagara.score.com website. On Tuesday, tomorrow, February 1st, at 11 o'clock in the morning, our Google partners will present Make Your Website Work for You. On Wednesday, February 2nd, our Microsoft partners will be presenting Intermediate Level 200 PowerPoint, and that's a 9 o'clock in the morning start for that presentation. On Wednesday, February 23rd, again, our Google partners will be presenting Reach Customers Online with Google. That's February 23rd at 10 o'clock in the morning. On Wednesday, March 9th, our Microsoft partners will again be presenting for us, and they will be doing Intermediate Level 200 Microsoft Word. On Wednesday, March 23rd, at 2 in the afternoon, we'll be presenting Get Your Local Business on Google Search and Maps. And lastly, I'd like to mention that on April the 2nd, Saturday, April the 2nd, we will be having our what's known as Starting and Managing Your Own Business. That is a in-person workshop. It will be held at Damon College on April 2nd at 8:30 in the morning, and it goes till 5 in the afternoon. For information and registration on these and other SCORE workshops, go to our website, buffaloniagara.score.org. And now let's get started with our presentation. Our presenter is SCORE partner. Her name is Gerri Detweiler. Gerri Detweiler has more than 20 years of experience guiding individuals through the confusing world of credit, and she's earned a reputation as a reliable and independent resource on personal and small business credit. She serves as education director for a company known as Nav, N-A-V, and she develops educational programs and content for small business owners. The webinar that you're about to see was recorded 1 year ago. That being the case, you're going to hear references to federal programs, the COVID relief programs known as EIDL, the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, and the PPP program, the Paycheck Protection Program. I want to mention, and I will try and eliminate some of the sections of this pre-recorded webinar that refer to those programs because they are no longer available as grants. So please disregard those references in the webinar, and I will try and eliminate references there too. Unfortunately, Gerri could not be with us to do this webinar in person. The recording also includes Gerri answering questions that were posed by the attendees at the live webinar. We know that there will be questions that you may have and that will come to mind during the presentation. In order to get those questions to Gerri for her response, please use the chat feature of Zoom to record those questions. Please include your name with the question that you put in the chat. I'd like to mention that microphones will be muted all the way through this presentation, and all of the attendees will be receiving a link to the recording after we get through the presentation here, and that will be going out either later tonight or early tomorrow morning. I'd like to say thank you again for joining us this evening. And here we go with the recorded webinar.
Welcome. And at NAV, our goal is to help small business owners get the money they need to start a lenders around the country. It's also so we do write about and talk about relief grants that are great. Most your business has been impacted. We'll talk about government and private grants. Give you a little bit of
with us for that portion so you can use those resources to find the grants your business may need. But I'd love to start with a poll. And for this poll, I'd like to find out if you have applied for a grant.